All right. So what I want to test today, recently I put a post on X about a BSV Intel report that I built. And I put a payment gate over the top of it for to teach about micropayments. So my wallet infrastructure behind the scenes, and I call it Hummingbox. That wallet is BRC100, but I wanted to make it so that anyone with any wallet could pay me 1,000 sats and get the daily report, 1,000 sats a day. So that works great. All you do is you copy this, you put it into your wallet, your HandCash, Electrum SV, whatever, and send the payment, and it goes through, and it internalizes through a function that I wrote. It goes right into the BRC100 wallet. So what I want to show today is the BRC100 flavor of a payment. And there's two ways to do that. There's probably more than two ways, but two ways that I'm going to show. Today I'm just going to show one because I haven't built the other way yet. The first way, Deggen actually wrote some bridge code for me because he saw that I hadn't had that done yet. And so the bridge code is a way for us through the internet to access a BRC100 wallet. And it so happens that the wallet that I have that I'm going to pay with is the Metanet client. So I'll show you the bridge. All right, so this is Deggen's bridge code. I just cloned his repo that he whipped up real quick for this. I changed the date in it because that date is needed for the payment that we're going to make. So now we know what we need. We need a BSV address and we need a session ID. So we're going to go here. And first we're going to grab the address. And we're going to pop it in here. And then we are going to down here for BRC100 wallet developers. I'll make this easier, by the way, but this is just to see if it works. So I don't know if it works. So here is the session ID. And that was generated when this address was generated from my BRC100 wallet via, I think it's BRC29 is the framework I used for that. So now let's go over here and put the session ID in. All right, so when I click Pay Bridget, it should pull up my Metanet wallet, my Metanet client. Pretend I'm somebody else and pretend I'm you and you have a Metanet client, and this would be how you would do this. So pay Bridget, and now the Metanet client pops up. I want to pay me 1,000 Satoshis. Let's see what the details say. Includes the network fee. Let's say spend. No. All right, server responded 400, paid false error. The TX parameter must be valid atomic beef. Okay, so there's something wrong with that. I'm going to go investigate that and be back in, well, as long as it takes me to investigate it. All right, so I thought I would just show you. Here we are, and it says what we see here is that the beef format conversion is the issue. So create action, and that's the create action is what that payment bridge calls. And it returns base 64 encoded beef, but pay Bridget is trying to parse it incorrectly. All right, so now we're okay. So we are altering Deggen's code a little bit as per instructions. All right, and it should hot load. Enter session ID. All right, so drum roll, please. Now it should call up the wallet again, and it put in the 1,000 satoshis. Failed to execute ATOB on window. The string to be decoded is not correctly encoded. All right, so let's go back to this guy, and we're just going to do that. So the TX isn't a base 64 string. Let me check what format it actually is. It might be a byte array. If TX is a byte array, this should work. All right, so we made one more small change to Deggen's code having to do with encoding. We are gonna hot reload this. So we're gonna say pay Bridget, insufficient funds. Okay. All right, let me get some funds over there to my Metanet wallet. In fact, I'm just gonna show you how we do this. All right, so here's the Metanet wallet. I don't work a lot in this wallet, but I bet it's not hard. Let me see. You know what? I think we have to use receive. Let's see what happens with receive. Okay, so this is the identity key, so this is not going to work with a HandCash payment. To my knowledge, I could be wrong, but I don't think it will. And so that is why someone built, they built a payment bridge. These are apps that are in the Metanet environment, BRC100 compliant. So let me just type in, I think it's not bridge. It is, what is it called? Let's just say payment, legacy payments. There we go. So I'm just going to say get. So here we are. We've got a legacy bridge. So I want to receive money into my Metanet client. So now I am, you can't see this, but I am taking my phone and I am opening up HandCash and I'm hitting that QR scanner and it put the receive address, so 1B3 MV, correct. And I'm going to send it, why not? I'm going to send it 5 cents. Send money, confirm. There you heard that little ding dong. So it should be in my Metanet client. Let's get the balance. Let's go over here. Yeah, I think that is more. I didn't check the balance first. But anyway, let's try it again. And remember, I have cores enabled. That's the only way that this works. And when I say cores enabled on my server, so on that Hummingbox server, I have enabled this. So let's say pay Bridget. Huh, interesting. Maybe I did this wrong. Oh, you know what I have to do now? With this legacy bridge, I have to import the funds. Boom. Hopefully the moment of truth. Processing. All right. So yes, we are going to send this to Bridget. We're going to pay her 1,000 satoshis for that report. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Server responded 400. Paid false error. The payment remittance parameter must be locked by script conforming to BRC29. That's my wallet. So let's see. All right, let's see. So we are now going to try this new basket insertion approach to accept the UTXO directly without the BRC29 verification, which was failing. So let's see what happens now. All right, so Metanet client coming up, and we're going to pay Bridget 1,000 Satoshis. Wow, success. All right, so now we want to quickly go back over. Payment received, redirecting, boom. There we go. That was so cool. Took a bit of work, but success. Okay, so what just happened? The BRC100 wallet that I originally set up, that I have in the cloud running, I also separately created a daily BSV Intel report. That's a whole other thing that doesn't require a blockchain, but I put a payment gate over the top of that report. And originally, it only would receive, uniquely I might add, it would only receive a P2PKH payment from an external wallet to the BRC100 ecosystem. So from HandCash or whatever else you have. That worked great. But my next step is to take the payment directly from a BRC100 wallet. And that's what you just saw. So we did it in a way that, and Deggen wrote that bridge code and I cloned it. I made a little adjustment to it. I think a couple adjustments. And then we had troubles on my wallet code side around the BRC29 coding. And I bypassed that and it should have gone right into the wallet. And we can check the database for that. To see if it is in there. Hang on one second. So we're selecting everything from the sessions table, and that is my unique table that is built for this report gate. But uniquely here, we are saying, show me where payment method is BRC100. And there we have it. This is what just came through.
Got a curve in the game, laid out clean with the point
So
being
very
G,
cool.
you're the math machine. Pick a secret number, that's your key. Multiply G, now the public can see. On the curve, can't fake what you sign. Private stays yours, public looking fine. No prime cracks, no fat.